Welcome to this edition of SAC News in Focus. I'm Andrew Lapp. My first guest today is Teddy Moreno, Vice President of Associated Student Government here at Santa Ana College. Theodore, as you actually told me you like to be called before the show, right?
Yes.
Let's put that out there, and I believe that's going to be on your CG, so don't worry. Theodore, so tell me first, is this your first semester as Vice President here? Like, is that how that typically works?
No, this is actually my second semester serving as the Associate Student Government Vice President at Santa Ana College. I first began in the fall. I was elected last spring in order to serve these next 2 semesters, and I'll be concluding my term this coming July 1st.
Okay, so it lasts for like a year?
Yes, it does.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know, and now everyone knows. So what kind of got it in your head that you wanted to serve in ASG?
Well, I've always had this calling to serve for my students. I've served for 4 years at my high school, Hector Godinez Fundamental High in Santa Ana. I served as ASB president my senior year, and so when I took a year off my freshman year at Santa Ana College, it's just that calling had come back, and I just felt there was a greater need for me to serve my fellow students, and that's why I felt qualified and confident enough to register as into the second highest office on campus.
Okay, that's interesting. That's cool. Did you, when you decide to register, or I guess because you had to win an election, right?
Yeah, I ran against this this great young woman. She was more than qualified, but I was happy enough that my fellow students elected me in order to serve them.
Okay, and so what was that whole process like? Like, did you register? Did you campaign? How long was that, and what did you do to kind of edge you out over her?
Well, first I had to register, basic information, email, my name, my student ID, and then I had to get signatures of my fellow supporters and campaign assistants. That was the easy part. And after that, it takes about a week to reach out to different clubs, organizations, whether if I can earn their endorsement or not. And then I have to list all my campaign expenditures to make sure I don't go above the limit of $200, and to turn in all my receipts to the Office of Student Life to make sure they verify me that I'm qualified and I'm ready to begin the campaign.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what was the actual campaigning process like? Just hanging up flyers? Was there like a speaking event? What, for someone who's never done this before, who's interested in running for ASG, like, what should they be prepared for?
Well, I think it's actually pretty easy. Just putting up flyers on open bulletins in almost every building, the Lapp Hall, all 4 floors, passing out flyers individually. But I think the biggest thing that I tell individuals, the easiest way to get elected is to verbally campaign, to verbally go up to individuals and state who you are, where you come from, why you qualified, and why do you want to serve them. Why do you want to be the next individual to make sure that their endeavors are continued, to make sure everything is taken care of for them, and everything is done on their behalf correctly.
Yeah, that kind of leads me to my next question. Santa Ana College is part of like a much larger organization. We have like our college board, we have our deans, for each department. What role does ASG play, when it comes to interacting with like the other leaders in our college, and like what sort of role do you guys play?
Well, I believe ASG holds one of the strongest roles on campus. We are the pulse voice of the students, and so it is our sole responsibility to reach out to administration, to reach out to deans, to reach out to professors whenever there's a concern, wherever there's a need that the students feel that is not being taken care of. It's our sole responsibility.
So you guys work as advocates a lot of the time?
Yes, we are. We are the main advocates on this campus.
Okay. So would you say that's what you spend most of your time doing, is just like listening to students, hearing their concerns, and then bringing it to the appropriate faculty or other personnel? I
would say yes, but it's not only limited to that. We're also there to throw on events, to bring public speakers, to have resource fairs, to make sure that there's that Club Rush functions successfully, to make sure that Welcome Back functions successfully, a final stress relief week, to make sure the students every single week are taken care of. And so yes, we are that voice for them.
Okay, very cool. What, I'm interested now just more in the vice president role of things. What specifically do you do in your role that's different from because I know ASG they're kind of modeled after what the regular government,
yes.
I called it regular, but
the federal government.
You're right, thank you. But they're modeled after that. So there's a role for like judiciaries. There's roles for legislators. What does the vice president like? What's your specific position?
Well, the duties of the vice president are, well, to begin with, we are the vice president of the entire student body. I am the second in command, right under the president. So whenever he or she is absent, right now this year it's a she, it's Breanna Ceja. So whenever she is
coming up next, by the way.
Yeah, she is. I am there to serve on the student's behalf when she is absent. For example, I just attended the board of trustee meeting this past Tuesday. She could not attend, so I spoke on her behalf. I spoke on what is occurring on campus, student concerns, and just overall the student, everything that the student government is doing on their behalf. I'm also the president of the legislative branch, so I am the chair. I am a non-voting member of that branch. And so I make sure that all the senators are taken care of. I make sure all the senators are approaching their deans, their professors. The roles of the senators are they are the sole representatives of the student campus. For example, you have the senator of fine and performing arts, so that would be representing this building. You have the senator of business, you have the senator of mathematics. And so it is their sole responsibility to reach out to their deans to ensure that their students are taken care of and to ensure what the students need at that current time. And I'm there to lead that group. I'm there to make sure the students are spoken for.
Okay, that's interesting. That's cool. That's so, when students have needs, you're one of the people that they can come to.
Yes.
In addition to like other resources. Okay, very cool. What sort of events have you guys been working on this semester, and what's coming up that people can look forward to?
Well, what we've been working on this semester, I think it was evident that we had a Black History celebration in February. We had Club Rush again. We always have Club Rush twice a year, once every semester. We had Welcome Back already. I would like to state that we are planning to have an Asian Pacific Islander Heritage event.
Okay, and when's that coming up?
That is coming up May 14th or the 15th, if I'm not mistaken.
People can look it up.
Yeah, they can look it up. We do not have a designated facility where it will be hosted, but it will for sure be hosted mid-May. What is also coming up for sure this Friday is the blood drive. So the Center of Health Services has teamed up with the American Red Cross in our G building, the gym, where students and staff and faculty can donate blood. And it's just for the greater need of those who cannot be as fortunate to have blood, or if they need of more blood.
Yeah.
April 24th, next Wednesday, is the Angels game against the New York Yankees. It's Santa Ana College night, and so still tickets are for sale. And it is a night designated just to Santa Ana College students in a certain section, in section 246, right under the Jumbotron in the right field MVP pavilion. And so I would just say it's a great opportunity to not only meet new people, but to meet staff on their free time. I feel many students feel that deans and professors are just so formal sometimes, just so professional, but they're just human beings just like us, and they have their free times. They have families, they have loved ones, and it's a good opportunity to see that.
Yeah, it sounds like a great time to do some community building. Excellent. One of the last things I want to ask you is, as vice president, what is something that you want to see more from students? Like, do you feel like more people could be reaching out to you? If that's like something that you would like to see, like how could they do that? Just because I wonder if people just aren't aware that like this is another avenue for them to pursue if they have needs that they feel could be met better.
What I want more for my students is just a higher levels of self-confidence, just knowing that they are capable of anything, that all it just takes is to put your name down on the paper and to apply or register, and it will go accordingly. Again, Santa Ana College is a wonderful institution. There's so many programs, there's so many services just waiting for the students to come apply to, and the Associate Student Government is one of those services and programs that could benefit them. It teaches them how to network, it teaches them to speak to individuals that they may have never spoken to, or in crowds that they have never felt comfortable in doing so. And so it's just, I want the students to recognize that they are capable of things that they did not think they were capable of. It's just, again, this stigma that they'll never succeed to anything, that there's just the bare minimum and there's nothing more for them after the bare minimum. And so I just want them to have a renewal of the mind, just to know that they are greater than what they believe they are.
That's awesome. You know
Yeah.
what? That's a really good note to end on. So we're
Thanks.
going to take it there. We're going to take a short break right now. Stay tuned for ASG's President Breanna Ceja on SAC News in Focus.
I chose Santa Ana College due to the fact that they do offer a lot of help for their students when it comes to the CTE program. But I do want to get certificates, so that's a great help.
Professors are here to like actually tell you like, hey, I'm here to help you.
The MESA program, they like lend me books for like my chemistry, my bio, and the learning center. They help me so much.
My favorite thing here is the people. I love the people here.
Welcome back to SAC News in Focus. Joining me now is ASG's President Breanna Ceja. Breanna, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yeah, no, it's lovely to have you. I'm always interested in having people who are like in, not like faculty, but are students who are in more of a leadership role. So it's
Okay.
awesome to have you and Theodore here today.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm always interested in this. What kind of led you to be in the role that you are in today?
Right. So in high school, I was really shy. So going into college, I really wanted to be a part of something where I can be more outspoken. And I also want to become a future attorney. So I knew
Okay.
that being part of student government would kind of help me in that way for my future career.
Absolutely, absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. So was it like your first year or your first, I guess, semester or election cycle or however that works out? Was that when you decided, or were you in college for a little while before you thought, hey, that might be a good thing to do?
Right. I actually joined my first, I think, 3 weeks into SAC.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it was Club Rush, and I saw the student government booth, and it really stood out to me. So I talked to the previous president, and he's the one that really got me interested in it.
Okay. So how many years then have you been doing it?
This is my second year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I joined last fall, or
Okay.
I guess 2 fall semesters ago.
Oh, that's awesome. And
Yeah.
so how's your experience been so far? Have you like been able to kind of recreate that experience for other people? Have you seen other people, like, have you brought them into student government?
Right. It's been a really great networking opportunity. So not only have I met different students, I've also been pretty close to administration and faculty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I know for myself, in high school, I didn't really connect with my teachers because maybe people just don't do that.
Yeah.
But I've noticed even in college, that there's a little bit of a, I guess that's kind of an obstacle sometimes for students.
Right.
And so you've had a lot of success doing that. Do you see yourself in ASG as being able to kind of like connect faculty and students as like one of your roles that you do here?
Right. So really what we do in ASG, we are the student voice. So we're able to present issues to the administration.
Okay. So how does that process kind of work? Like, do you get a lot of people like just like sending you emails or tweeting at you, or like how does it go?
Right. So as president, I get a lot of people emailing me with different student issues, and I sit on 3 different shared governance committees, being the
Okay.
Board of Trustees, College Council, and District Council. So at those meetings is where I'm really able to present those issues to the district and administration.
Okay. And so can you give us like a little bit of like an inside peek, I guess? Like what is that like? What are some of the issues that you bring up, and how do they get resolved?
So right now what I'm currently advocating for is college hour. So college hour is like a designated period where there's no classes, no meetings. So we're able to do our events during that time, and students can meet with faculty and staff. So that's
Okay.
one of the things I'm presenting to the administration and the district.
Okay. Have you presented that yet, or is that like?
It's in the process.
Are we making an official announcement right now, guys?
It's in the process.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And how's everyone else in ASG looked at that? Like, how do they feel about it?
Right, so we have 3 branches in our student government, and all 3 have had the opportunity to review the proposal. So we're in the final steps of really bringing it up to the administration.
What is that whole process even like? Like, do you just bring it up in meetings, or how does it go?
Right, so the 3 branches have consecutive meetings, so Mondays being executive, Tuesday being legislative, and Wednesday being judicial.
Okay.
So typically, items such as college hour would be presented on Mondays for executive, and then following Tuesday and Wednesday with legislative and judicial.
Okay. That's interesting. And so what, did you kind of come up with this because it was like, some student brought it up to you, or what was like kind of the inspiration for it? Because I know, it sounds like a good idea to me.
Right.
That kind of thing, like the idea that like we can have a designated time where, we at SAC News, if we wanted to like cover an event that's going on that day,
Exactly.
that we'd have that time available.
Right.
But where did that idea come to you from?
I was inspired by the previous president, Juan, who was really interested in the idea, so I kind of took it off from there.
Juan, I think we actually had him on the show
Yeah,
once. We did, didn't we?
watched
Huh?
it, yeah, with Elizabeth Weber as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh man, I've been here a while. So he brought that idea up to you.
Right.
Okay. And so what was he just like on his way out and he was like, hey, by the way, you might want to do this? Or how did that
Well, I
come
saw
up?
it as a good idea as well. I think it's a good opportunity for students and staff to have a closer connection to one another.
Yeah.
And then we can also have more events on our campus during that time.
Okay. What do the events kind of look like right now that you guys do? Like, I know Theodore was just telling us about Club Rush.
Right.
Obviously, that happens every semester. But other than that, what are the sort of things that that you guys see a lot of like interest in?
So the different branches really represent different areas on campus. So
Okay.
my branch being the executive branch, we represent different areas. For example, sustainability, cultural awareness, health awareness.
Okay.
And so coming up soon, we have the Pacific Islander event for our cultural awareness.
Right.
But what the Senate does is they represent different majors and departments. So that's where their
Okay.
events are focused on.
So they're more educational, or like educational departments, I guess. And you guys in the executive are more like big picture. Is that kind
Yeah.
of like the right way to put it?
That's exactly right.
Okay, very interesting. And so how's how you told me a little bit about how you've kind of networked with students and like some of the ideas that you guys have come up with for students, but how has this changed like your path, like setting you up for a career, or I guess for a transfer to a different college?
Right. It's helped me be more outspoken. Like I said before, in high school I was very shy, and I do want to become an attorney in the future. So having this kind of political experience has really helped me in that way.
Okay. Really helps you like kind of come out of your shell a little bit.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's very cool. So how let's get like a little more specific on that just for a minute. Like, do you like lead meetings, or like what does that role kind of look like in action?
So I lead the executive branch meetings every Monday from 1:30 to 3 o'clock. I also attend the 3 participatory governance committee meetings, board of trustees, district council, college council. And then I do have various meetings with administrative members and district members.
Okay. And what are those that's really interesting actually, because meeting with district members, that sounds like something that would help you come out of your shell.
Yeah.
Or at least kind of force you to, right?
Right.
Has that been what your experience is so far?
Yes, absolutely. Like for the technology committee at the district level, I was able to meet with him and then talk about what different technological needs are needed on our campus for students.
Yeah, or how to like upgrade that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
And so what has that whole kind of thing been like? Has it been, have you seen like a lot of upgrades been happening on campus, or like is there anything planned in the future?
Not that I know of so far. We haven't had a follow-up meeting,
Okay,
but it's just in the process.
right. That's government, right?
Yeah.
But it's always moving.
Right.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. And you guys, I think Theodore mentioned that you guys have like that Angels event coming up.
Yes.
Is this the first time we've done that, or is it just the first time I'm hearing about it?
No, this is the first year that we've ever done it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's college night at Angel Stadium.
And how'd you guys make that happen?
I believe they reached out to us with an interest.
Okay.
So I think other colleges do the same thing. So we're just
All right.
representing Santa Ana College that night.
Okay, but it's like a whole area that you guys have, right?
Oh
Like
yeah,
at
we have a
Angel
designated
Stadium?
seating area, yeah.
And that's like a big game, I assume. I don't really
Against
know
the
baseball.
Yankees, so.
Okay, so that's a big game.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, I'm totally aware of that. That's really interesting. When you come to like your meetings and that you lead every week with students, how has that, how has that changed for you, going from someone who, coming straight out of high school, not being really, the most outspoken person, how have you changed and how have you grown besides just becoming like, I don't know, maybe like more vocal? Like, have you like made friends? Have you seen like relationships like, with students or like with faculty grow? Like, what's that been like?
I feel as though I've developed lifelong friends in ASG, and I think other students should also do the same. Like joining ASG will not only help you in your leadership skills. It'll help you develop long-term relationships. That's how it's helped me.
Okay. Have you seen a lot of, has there been like a lot of interest in ASG that you've seen? Like when you're out there in Club Rush doing your booth, do you see a lot of interest, or do you kind of think like maybe there could be a little more?
Well, when I first joined, no one really knew who we were. And that was about 2 years ago when I first joined.
Okay.
But I think over time we've grown immensely. So not only do faculty and administration know who we are, most of the students on campus also know what we do.
Yeah, no, that's something that I've noticed. Like, I was looking through your webpage and like who you can contact, and like it does seem that like for every issue, whether it's like sustainability, like you mentioned, cultural stuff, or like if you just have a department interest, there's someone for you to contact.
Yes, we've also just expanded our representation of students. So in executive, we now have an international students commissioner and an undocumented students commissioner.
Okay, and so those people are people that students can reach out to.
Right.
Okay, and that's excellent. Awesome. Thank you for coming here and telling us all about that.
Yes, thank you so much.
That's going to wrap up this week's edition of SAC News in Focus. We'd like to thank our amazing guests today, Breanna Ceja and Theodore Moreno. Don't forget to catch our regular edition of SAC News, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And we'll see you next time.